I'm back. Real quick. We're going to talk about the aspects going on right now, real quick, with Mercury and Venus. Now, I'm looking at the chart with the planets today, and I see, first of all, Venus and Mercury are conjuncting, which is good. Okay, this is in Scorpio. This is when two planets are conjuncting, they're 10 degrees or closer to each other, which means that they're so close to each other that now they're interacting. So Mercury, the planet of thoughts, right? The planet of logic, intellect, communication, is right next to and talking to the planet of Venus, love, relationships, value, comfort, art, beauty, harmony, relationships. Both in the sign of Scorpio, in the last degrees of Scorpio. Scorpio, deep, intense, right? Now we're getting a more deep, intensified look, and it's harmonizing so well with our communications and thoughts, and it's tying right into what we find comfortable, what we find value in. Our relationships, our communications are more smoother, right? Because Venus just brings that Venus energy of pleasure. It's charm, romance, right? So now it's right in contact and interacting with our thoughts, our communications. Now is when we're attracting more of that energy as well. So there's way more opportunities showing up for us. We're learning to create more of a closer relationship, deeper connection with others, but not just superficial, not just a regular friendship, a real connection, a real conscious connection. It's the light. It's not only the light. It's also the dark. It's everything as a whole. And it can go two different ways for you. It can go two different ways. It can transform you. It's going to transform you either way. Actually, it's going to transform you either way, but depending on how you go about this energy, it can feel like an invasion of privacy. But that's not it's not meant to feel like that. It's not, because it doesn't come around that much. So when it does, right, just to be with and to understand and to look into this energy and to feel it and to embrace it and to not fear, but acknowledge, experience. be vulnerable. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay. And this transit is making me feel like it's okay to be vulnerable. And it's okay to talk about things that you probably never imagined you would talk about with certain individuals or everyone. Right? Depending, this can play out for certain people in certain ways, but it all really connects, which is why I'm here in the first place. We also have Mercury and Venus sextiling Pluto. So this is good because a sextile, right, when two planets are 60 degrees away from each other. And when this happens, this means that an opportunity is arising. This means that these two planets are interacting in a very, very good way, right? Because now we have opportunities. Now we have a connection between these two planets. Well, these three, because Mercury and Venus are literally not even 3 or 4 degrees away from each other. So it's literally, they're both sextiling Pluto, the generational, slow moving, dark, deep planet that rules Scorpio, that happens to rule Scorpio. Pluto right now, though, is in Capricorn. And it's actually conjuncting Saturn, which is in Capricorn as well. And Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, so Saturn in Capricorn feels at home, so that's good. I'll get more into the generational planets later. Saturn is, the discipline and the life lessons that we go through. It's the discipline and restriction in the restriction in our lives, right? It's kind of what keeps that balance, Now, it being in Capricorn, it's perfect because now we're set now to put the right restrictions. It gives this sense of more, maturity within the as a generation. Saturn is a slower moving planet. Therefore, it spends about 4 years in each sign. And, during these 4 years in that sign, it's just going to bring cycles, right, of maturity and responsibility and achievement, but only through hard work, right, can you achieve and reap the benefits. So it really depends what Saturn is doing with your chart, and that will show you what that aspect of your life is like, right? You could be somebody that's very lucky, maybe you have really good aspects to Saturn, and it's not really punishing you that much as it would punish other people who have like oppositions with it or squares with it and other very strong planets. So it really all depends. But the main topic that I was trying to stick to this whole time, which is the sextile that's going on between Mercury, Venus with Pluto. Now, Pluto is a slow-moving planet. Pluto rules power itself. Since Pluto moves so slow, right, it's more of a generational planet for that reason, being that it stays in a sign for so long, and those years that are passing by, so many individuals are being born, right? And so now all of these people from the time of Pluto is in the first degree of that that whatever sign. Right now it's in Capricorn, so it's actually in the end of Capricorn, so soon it's 9 degrees away from Aquarius. So from the moment Pluto is in the first degree to the last degree of Capricorn, everybody who's born in that time has Pluto in Capricorn in their chart. Okay? So what this means is now that it shows how a specific group of the world itself portrays these types of traits, therefore creating whatever change they create and transformation they create within this world. So it has the power to deeply transform society. Whatever sign Pluto is in is going to create like a revolution, an outbreak of some sort in that generation that was born in that sign. Now, depending, which element that Pluto is in, it's going to intensify that specific element. So right now it's in Capricorn, which is an earth sign. So the earth signs are feeling this transformation the most, right? It's a feeling of regeneration in whatever specific sign, and it'll tell you what specific areas in when you look into the specific sign, which is Capricorn. So Capricorn and Scorpio, very serious signs. Capricorn is a cardinal sign, so they're always stepping forth to go ahead and bring structure and stability. And they're able to do it the best because they go through kind of very traumatic events in life where it leads them to have that seriousness where it's like life is really not just life is not what you think it is. Like life is not a joke. They've seen the dark sides of life, so that's why they have this maturity and seriousness they carry with them. So this sign seriousness mixed with Scorpio's intensity and their seriousness too. It's because Scorpio is a fixed sign, right? So they're very serious in when they have one task in mind, they stick to it. Like they're stubborn. So these two signs together creating an opportunity, a sextile. So Pluto being in Capricorn and Venus and Mercury being in Scorpio, sextiling, Venus specifically sextiling Pluto it deepens your love to like an intense level. If you're meeting somebody now or if you're single even, you're going to meet somebody who you're damn near gonna feel like you're obsessed with. Like that's the Pluto energy that it brings, because Pluto can be very obsessive. As long as you don't let it get unbalanced, it can be a little bit obsessive. You just feel like you can't get this person out of your head. You can't stop thinking about them. So just watch out for obsessive behaviors. There's a sextile though, so there's a lot of opportunity right now. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of intense romance, but not on the physical, much of a physical level, more on a like soul, spiritual level. It's a connection, a real connection, mind, body, and soul. Not just body, not just physical. It's deeper. this is what this is gonna bring to the table, and it's gonna be an intense ride. This does not always have to resemble in you and another person, because it depends which house your planets are in while doing this. So it really depends what house you have Capricorn in and what house you have Scorpio in. And that's how you're able to decipher your personal experience through that. And if you thought that the Mercury conjuncting Venus in Scorpio was intense, Mercury sextiling Pluto is good. Whoa! More intense. More intense. More of it. It's coming. It's pouring. It's pouring down. More serious topics will attract you. You will feel this magnetism, this feeling of wanting to look deeper, dive deeper, research more serious, mysterious topics will be brought to light. You're gonna feel like you can literally decode and uncover a lot more than you could have before. You're gonna look at things in a way where it's gonna hit you. It's really gonna hit you. You're gonna feel like you've tapped into a part of yourself that you've never tapped into before, and you're going to embrace it, and that's amazing. And I feel it, and